Somehow, the last week of January is already upon us, and it's going to be a cold one here in the US, but it's going to be a hot week in Pokemon Go. So let's dive into what's going down for the week of January 27th. Starting off with a quick overview for the whole week, and then we'll dive into the details for each day. So on Monday, January 27th, Dynamax Zapdos will be appearing in a Max Monday hour, but then it'll also continue to be available throughout the week. On Tuesday, January 28th, the GBL will rotate, so starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, we'll have the Great League and the Jungle Cup Little Edition. Then from 6 to 7 p.m., Yungoos Spotlight Hour with the double transfer candy bonus. Wednesday, January 29th, kicks off the Lunar New Year 2025 at 10 a.m. This event runs until Sunday, February 2nd at 8 p.m., and throughout the event, we will have an increased chance to get lucky Pokemon and trades, and increased chance to get lucky friends. This event will also boost the shiny odds for Ekans. Later on Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. we'll have Dialga Raid Hour. As always, if you need remote invites or want to host remote raids, join the Diddobase Discord at discord.gg/Diddobase. Then on Saturday, February 1st, Gigantamax Kingler will appear in 6-star max battles during a max battle day taking place from 2 to 5 p.m. Shadow Regirock will be taking the place of Shadow Registeel as the weekend 5-star Shadow Raid boss. So there you have the high-level weekly overview for the week of January 27th. If you are specifically interested in only some of those things, you can check the timestamps in the description to skip around and get more details about the events that you care about. So with that, let's go through day by day and go through each event in more detail. Monday, January 27th from 6 to 7 p.m., Zapdos will be the featured Pokemon in a Max Monday. These Dynamax battles will be more difficult than your typical Max battles, much more similar to the Dynamax Articuno. They will be 5-star max battles, and while they can be done with a duo, 3 or 4 players is highly recommended, especially if you don't use a Max Mushroom. As an electric type Dynamax raid attacker, Zapdos is pretty good. Gigantamax Toxtricity is going to be better. However, if you don't have a Gmax Toxtricity, or maybe you need a second or third electric type raid attacker, Zapdos is going to be a good option. Keep in mind you will need to use an elite fast TM. For Zapdos to do the most damage, it needs to know the fast move Thundershock. Shiny Dynamax Zapdos will be available with shiny odds of 1 in 20. The rewards for doing these 5-star Dynamax battles are quite good. So even though Zapdos is not going to do more damage than my Gigantamax Toxtricity, I'm still going to be doing as many as I can, simply for the Stardust, XP, and Rare Candy XLs. On Tuesday, January 28th, the Go Battle League will rotate at 1 p.m. Pacific, bringing in the Great League and the Jungle Cup Little Edition. Great League, as most of you already know, is only for Pokemon of CP 1500 and lower. The Jungle Cup Little Edition is only for Pokemon 500 CP or lower, and it has a limited selection of types. Only normal, grass, electric, poison, ground, flying, bug, and dark type Pokemon are eligible, with Gligar and Galarian Stunfisk being banned. Then from 6 to 7 p.m. local on Tuesday, Yungoos will get a Spotlight Hour with the bonus of double transfer candy. Yungoos and its evolution Gumshoes are not really good for anything. So this Spotlight Hour focus on transferring all your Pokemon that you don't need. Maybe you have Pokemon left over from Ralt's Community Day. Maybe you have some legendaries hanging out in your storage. This is a great opportunity to get more candy when transferring these Pokemon and freeing up some storage. On Wednesday, January 29th, starting at 10 a.m. local time, the Lunar New Year 2025 event will begin. This event will run throughout the rest of the week, ending on Sunday at 8 p.m. local time. This event is all about lucky trades. You will have an increased chance to get a lucky Pokemon during trades, and you'll also get an increased chance to become lucky friends when interacting with your best friends. So for the about 5-day duration of this event, I highly recommend prioritizing doing your 100 trades per day. Try and get some extra lucky Pokemon for your lucky decks, or try and get a meta-relevant Pokemon with higher IVs. Remember, a lucky Pokemon has an IV floor of 12 12-12, and it also has a reduced by half Stardust cost for powering up, which is massive. This event will also boost the shiny odds of Ekans, and will have some daily field research tasks that reward Poké Coins, as well as some rare field research tasks from spinning stops that also reward Poké Coins. So this is a great way to get some free Poké Coins. Also on Wednesday the 29th, Dialga will be the featured Pokemon in a raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. Dialga is the 4th best Steel-type raid attacker. It does get out DPS'd by the more accessible Metagross, as well as the maybe not quite as accessible Duskmane Necrozma. So take a look at your Steel-type team, and if you need a 5th or 6th slot, Altered Form Dialga is a good option. It's also rank 42 in the Master League according to pvpoke.com. It does, however, get outranked by the Origin Form Dialga. Both of these Dialga do share the same candy, so if you need some extra XLs to power up either an Origin or an Altered Form, or if you need some regular Dialga candy for your Roar of Time adventure effect, this is a great opportunity to get some extra Dialga candy. And if you do need remote invites, I do go out during these raid hours. I typically do 10 to 14 raids. I'm happy to invite you to as many of these Dialga raids as you'd like. Hop in the Ditto Base Discord at discord.gg/DittoBase and check out our remote raiding category of channels. On Saturday, February 1st, Gigantamax Kingler will be a featured Pokemon in a Max Battle Day. Gmax Kingler will be appearing in 6-star Gigantamax battles. This Max Battle Day will take place for just 3 hours from 2 to 5 p.m. local time. As a Gigantamax Water-type Pokemon, it is not as tanky as Gigantamax Blastoise. However, it does have a higher base attack stat, so it is going to do more damage than your Gmax Blastoise. There are only 33 Gigantamax capable Pokemon, so while Kingler might not be the most exciting Pokemon to have, because of the limited selection of Gmax Pokemon, and Gmax Pokemon do more damage than Dynamax Pokemon, I highly recommend getting at least a few Gmax Kingler if you can find a local group to do so. The Gigantamax battles do give out really good rewards, lots of Stardust, lots of experience points, and don't forget to use Max Mushrooms. If you have a smaller group, using a Max Mushroom will greatly increase your damage, allowing you to take down Gigantamax Kingler with a much smaller group. As far as top counters for Gmax Kingler, your number one top counter is going to be Gigantamax Venusaur. The grass typing of Gmax Venusaur both resists water type attacks, and it is also super effective against water type Pokemon. So Gmax Venusaur is going to be your number one pick here. If you have one, definitely get it ready for this weekend. Other options are going to be Gigantamax Toxtricity or Dynamax Rillaboom, Dynamax Venusaur. Shadow Regirock will be replacing Shadow Registeel in the 5-star weekend Shadow raids. Shadow Regirock is not a top tier Pokemon, but it's not entirely useless either. It is less useful in raids as the 27th best overall rock-type raid attacker, but it is highly ranked in the Ultra League. It comes in at rank 31 overall in the Ultra League according to pvpoke.com with the IVs 6, 14, 14. It's ranked slightly lower in the Great League at rank 133 overall with the IVs 6, 11, 13. So that wraps up this week in Pokemon Go. To point out some events that I think are worth focusing on, Dynamax Zapdos is definitely worth picking up at least a few, if not more, just for the Stardust rewards alone, and don't forget to pop a star piece. Double transfer candy Spotlight Hours don't come around every single month, so definitely look through your storage ahead of time and empty it out this Tuesday. With the Lunar New Year Lucky Trade and Lucky Friend bonus, definitely prioritize those trades. And if you have any best friends, make sure you're interacting every day during those 5 days to try and get some extra lucky trades in. A great way to get some high IV Pokemon with reduced Stardust cost for powering up. Definitely try and find a group for Gigantamax Kingler. The rewards alone are worth it, but definitely having an extra water type Gmax Pokemon for the Dynamax battle system is worth doing. And while you're out, if you do see any Shadow Regirock, it's worth doing a few of those. But again, that will be around every weekend in February, so you don't need to prioritize that right now. I hope you all have a great last week in January. Remember to stay warm, get some gloves, put on a hat. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.